Oh, that sound, that's PlayStation sound when the disc starts loading. It's just pure nostalgia. Hello YouTube, welcome to another video, the PlayStation 1 collection. Yeah, it's been about 10 years since the last one, but I thought it was about time. How are you doing? Good. About 100 or so games, just over. Sold about 100, so it's a fairly small collection now, but more games I might actually load up and play, most of them anyway. So, yeah, got a bit of nostalgia, especially with these demo discs. Double them out. First in the magazines, they come in the card sleeves, didn't they? Then they came like this, didn't they, in the CD cases? Yeah. Demo 1, got that at the PlayStation, of course, along with Ridge Racer, and well, it's probably the way where you decided which games you're going to get, didn't you, back in the days? Not necessarily cheap, were they? All right, yeah, on the show, 2 games on the Platinum range. I've nearly cleared them all out now and got the the black label ones back again. So first up then is Colin McRae Rally, really good rally game. You knew that anyway. And hello, Tekken 3. I don't know where the original one that is. So there you go. Obviously a good fighting game. Okay, these are in alphabetical order because it's me. So first up is Actua Golf. Mate and I, actually my former brother-in-law and I, played this a lot after playing Nick Faldo's on the Amiga and stuff like that. It was a bit of a step up, not too much different really, but it did have the voice up there, Peter Alice, and he will be like the voice of golf. You know, golf. Yeah. That was the second. Was there a third one as well? I'm not sure. That's the only Actua I've got. I haven't got the soccer, which was some white at the time as well. Next up, a crack case. A few of these got cracks, unfortunately. Alien Resurrection, which was it's really, I would say it's underrated, but it's really impressive. We move on from the Alien Trilogy, which comes on this demo 1 as well. And it's here, of course, which was good stuff. Really good, early texture mapped first person shooter. The first time the face hugger comes up the screen like that, it's like, whee! Make sure, well, mate and I were playing it on the demo and it happened and didn't quite shit ourselves, but not far from it. Next up, another game that could do that to you, Alone in the Dark. Is it a New Nightmare? No, New Nightmare, sorry. That was a decent adventure, not really played it that much. Right, something a bit more light-hearted. Anna Kournikovas Smash Court Tennis. And this is actually quite a decent tennis game back in the day. Played it quite a bit. That's Anna Kournikova, you know, something I like to play. Arcade's Greatest Hits, Atari. Atari Collection, number 2. Yeah, here, Silks on there, Paperboy, Gauntlet, Road Blasters, and so on. Good stuff. Early Fighter, Ballerina Toshinden. Very dated. It's probably more dated than the Tekken series. It was the second one as well, wasn't it? Never got that. And you've got to have Bomb Man. Don't know what system, you've got to have Bomb Man. I think any system that come out on I have, there's a version of Bomb Man for me. Good fun if you have friends. Next up then, now this game was something the Amiga couldn't really do. So when this come along I was like, whoa, that's good. I bought it, of course. It's Colony Wars. 3D space flight shooter. Graphically very good. One of my first games completed on the PlayStation, I think. And I had to get the others in the series, which were Red Sun, which had land missions as well. Not really played it so much, to be honest. And Vengeance. That's all 3. Super. I used to have all 4 of these games actually for the PlayStation, but I only got 1 now. That's Cool Borders. And oddly enough, I actually played SSX on the PlayStation 2 before playing Cool Borders on the PlayStation 1. Yeah, it's alright for its time. It's SSX, the bee's knees. Next up, now this game, based on the books, back in the 80s, used to read the fighting fantasy books. You know, you can choose which path you take. You know, turn left, turn the page, 600 or whatever. So yeah, I think I played a demo of this somewhere, but it's really good. Death Trap Dungeon. Ian Livingston, he's one of the guys that wrote the book, so it's all to do with him. So it's a 3D, I wouldn't call it a dungeon crawler because you move along at a fair pace and all kinds of monsters, weapons, traps, platforms, stuff like that. It's really good. Get hold of it quick, cheap, I'll recommend it. Another one I played a lot of, Demolition Racer, Destruction Derby. So you got races and you got various cars, I think you can unlock some as well. Got your battle arenas, but you got to try and be the last car standing, or last car still working, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's got a metal stroke industrial rock type soundtrack. So suppose it could be off putting to some. Next up, also on this demo on disc, Descent. I quite enjoyed this, although I never got that far, to be honest. 3D, spacey tunnel shooter type game. Explain it so well. Duke Nukem, Land of the Babes. Yeah. Yeah, not really played it, to be honest. There were a few Duke Nukem games, weren't there? Golf again. Everybody's golf. PS1, PS2 and a PS3 I played, but PSP version for me, definitely. It's alright though. Just put it on the PSP. Okay, this is a bit similar to Death Trap Dungeon. Excalibur. 20... oh, something or other, yeah. So again, it's a similar sort of setup. 3D, dungeony areas and stuff like that. You've got different weapons and that. It's a different game, it's not a rip-off, it's totally different. Another one I think I played on a demo disc, so I picked it up. Felony 1179. Kind of like mission-based racing of sorts. That's about all I can say about that. And Formula 1. When didn't Formula 1 come in a slim case? A CD case, I'm sure it did. I could be wrong. Still a really good racing game to this day. Super. That's the first set done then. Okay, next up then, a few shooters. First up is Galaga, Destination Earth. Hyped up Galaga basically, pretty good. Just saw a bit of it. G Darius, fantastic shooter. Actually used to get quite far in this game actually. Love the Darius series. Played this game before I knew that was actually a Amiga version of Darius, which was terrible, to be honest. Graphics are just too big, the ship's too big. But this, kind of 2D with 3D elements of sorts, really good. Recommended. Next up then, this one goes for quite a bit of money these days. Gekio Shooting King. Not particularly amazing shooter, but it's alright. Okay, one of the best racers. High rated, Gran Turismo, real driving simulator. Yeah, I like it. It's the only Gran Turismo I now have for the PlayStation 1. Oh, back to shooters again. This is brilliant. In the Hunt. Graphics like the Metal Slug series, same people behind it I believe, and submarine obviously as you can tell, and mainly under the water, so you've got stuff under the water, plus you've got stuff above, so you can shoot up as well. And some impressive bosses. It's just an impressive game, it really is. Alright, pucker up. Kiss Pinball. Yeah, got some crazy nights with this one. I'll get my coat. Okay, this is really good game, this one. Is it Cloner or Clonoa? Daughter Phantomile? I don't know, but it is a 2D stroke 3D platformer, super cute. No idea what it's saying. But I'm going to call it Cloner or Clonoa, I don't know what it is. All them games now seem to go for quite a fair price, so have to use sequel on the PS2. Really good game. Okay, football management time. Now, in the Amstrad days, I played a few football manager games like Football Manager itself and Soccer Boss. Obviously, they're very limited. Never got into it in the 16-bit era on the Amiga, like Premier Manager and Championship Manager and any of them. PlayStation come along, I tried a few. This one was the best of the bunch for me, LMA Manager. Bought the series on the PS1 and then the PS2 right until they stopped it in 2007. But it was the main one at the time. But now it's really not, obviously the teams are dated, players are all retired and stuff. But the game itself is now really dated compared to Football Manager, for example. Okay, Medal of Honor. It's another game where I actually played the Medal of Honor PS2 games before playing PS1 ones. I played Frontline on a demo, got into it because I wasn't really into it at the time, and I really liked it. And I went back and got the original. Still quite good. As a sequel, Underground, £2.50, not bad, eh? Yeah, good games. And I mentioned this game earlier, sort of, Metal Slug X. Really graphically great run and gun shooter. Constant barrage of bullets and stuff. More shooters. Mobile Light Force. Now is this the same as Gunbird? I'm not sure which one it is now. There's a Mobile Light Force for the PS2, which is different to this, I think. Or was that Gunbird? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. Mortal Kombat 3 in the card box. I can't open it. Yeah, nice addition, this one actually. Quite nice. Yeah, a couple of games called Motorhead. This one, obviously, it's a racing game. Pretty snazzy, but not very good at it, to be honest. Also a game called Motorhead on the Amiga, which is you play Lemmy from Motorhead, and it's basically a Golden Axe clone. Yeah, I should prefer that. Miss Pac-Man, Maze Madness. This is actually really good. I actually really like this. So it's souped up Pac-Man. You've got the original on there as well to play if you want. But this is a big 3D world environment and loads of stuff to do. It's actually a really good game to get into. This isn't actually a game as such, but well, it's music. Music Maker, of course. Years ago, back in the 90s, late 90s, mate was falling asleep in the chair. We'd been out, had a few drinks sort of thing, come back and just played a few games, then he started falling asleep. So I put this on. Within like 20 minutes I put a dance track together, which, shame I couldn't save it or something at the time, or didn't save it, wherever it was. And it's like that, when I press play, and it's quite good at what it does, obviously, you know, but you've got to have time, patience to put it all together. Yeah, it's quite good. It's a pretty fun track at the time. Okay, Need for Speed, the original. Quite a dated racing game now. Heavy case. Well, book in the case, isn't it? A couple of games, actually a few games here that deserve a bit more acclaim or something, I don't know. First up then is Nightmare Creatures. Played this a lot. So lots of loads of blood, stuff like that as well. Choice of two characters, big 3D environment, I can slash your way through everything. There was a sequel which I think I had for the Dreamcast at one stage. This game I really like, Ninja Shadow of Darkness. Yeah, sort of well, not quite isometric as such, so it's like a big step up from the last Ninja games, for example, but some big creatures in there to fight on, and loads of different weapons and stuff. Really good. This game, oh, I really want to like it, because it looks quite impressive, what you do and stuff like that, but I just can't get anywhere in it. It's called One. Live or Die by Your State of Rage. I remember years ago, Pete Snestastic did a gameplay, and yeah, I don't think it got anywhere either, to be honest. I mean, I have to look for another gameplay of this and see how to play the game, really. Can't get anywhere. And here is behind me, Overboard, another game from Psygnosis. Big, I think 8 3D worlds, great big worlds to sail around. You kind of like, not quite from above, but take over the ports, shoot the ships, upgrade your weapons. Get used to the steering is one of the harder bits, but really good game. There we go. Yeah, okay, back. Next up then, behind me here, Pandemonium. Really good 2D stroke 3D platformer. Platforms, baddies, magic, good stuff. Quite an early game too, that one. Followed by Pandemonium 2. And they changed the character, they sexed her up, shall we say. I don't think the game itself was quite as good as the original. I haven't really played it that much. That Pandemonium also had bonus levels where it could be like, hard to explain, like, you know, pinball machine sort of thing, bouncing around getting bonuses. Yeah, interesting. Alright, a few shooters then. A classic Proteus. Just hilarious, this game, absolutely hilarious. There's 2 games on here actually. There's the Fantastic Journey version as well. Obviously it's a parody of Proteus, you all know that, of course. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Another early shooter, is this Psygnosis? Don't remember. Forestama. Didn't like this one, immediately. Has a vertical and horizontal scrolling. Yeah, I don't know, something I didn't like. Right, my favourite racing game on the PlayStation 1, Rage Racer. Third in the series. It took a bit of a darker turn with graphics, whereas the first 2 had the sunshine and the blue sea and all this. Like this one, a bit darker, but had the female voiceover instead of the bloke, and the way you build your car up and stuff, it's brilliant. Many hours on that. Next up, another early game, Rapid Reload, run and gun, good stuff. Still an R, those are shooters. Raid Crisis. Kind of 3D-ish in a way, but it's more vertical scrolling. This is where you lock on your targets before firing. Alright. Also in that series was Raystorm, which is the same, a very similar sort of thing. Quite pricey these days. Resident Evil 2. I'm sure we're #1, wasn't it? No, I got a remake on the GameCube, but I'm sure #1 somewhere. Can't find it. Good stuff, Resident Evil. Game of the PlayStation, Ridge Racer. Yeah, that's still quite decent. You know, it's still a decent racing game. It's followed by one I played least, Revolution. Quite similar, to be honest. And Ridge Racer Type 4, which took kind of made it a bit more serious in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but this one you join a team and you're racing, etc. But it's still a very good game. Another racing game. Cost £8 apparently. Roll Cage. It was a Roll Cage Stage 2. This is quite good because it's almost like elements of Wipeout, but instead you can go around. You can in a tunnel, you can actually race on the ceiling and stuff like that, for example. Not played it that much, to be honest. Back to shooters again. One of the best for the PlayStation 1 has to be R-Type Delta. Absolutely fantastic. Big step up because it had the not quite 3D environments, but some of the bosses and some of the stages are just, which I can't get to, I've only watched. Absolutely brilliant. R-Types. R-Type 1 and R-Type 2 arcade conversions. So as you expect, very good. Yes. Here's a game I haven't actually got rid of yet as such. It cost me £1. Sentinel Returns. Sentinel was an old 8-bit game, which was an acquired taste, if you ask me. It's not my sort of taste. So I don't think I've even loaded this one up, to be honest. It's still sitting there in the collection. Shadow Master. It's a good game. It's like a 3D shooter of sorts. Graphically quite good. Psygnosis again. Just noticed that. A game I don't really have time for these days. SimCity 2000. Obviously it has an isometric view. See by the graphics on the back. Kind of liked it for a while, you know, but obviously you just move on, I suppose. Right, quite a pricey one it was. Skeleton Warriors. Graphically very impressive, like platform, horizontal scrolling hack and slash sort of thing, shall we say. But I've not really played it much. To describe it any better than that. Soviet Strike. Obviously in the Strike series. Quite a few games in the Strike series. It's the only one I have on PlayStation. Good stuff. Star Wars Dark Forces, which wanted to be better. It wasn't. It's alright. It could have been better, I'm sure. I don't think it's that highly rated in the PlayStation magazine when it came out. So. Racing game, Psygnosis again. Speedster. This is a different sort of racing game. This is like almost viewed from above, but from behind as well. And it's quite hard actually. It's quite unforgiving if you like crash. You struggle to catch up again. It's nice because it's different. I'm just not very good at it. And another shooter. Strikers 1945 2. Generic sort of stuff. You know, they moved on from like 1942, 43. And these Strikers games obviously have the big bosses and extra weapons and stuff like that. And you know, there we go. Up to West.
Okay, final round.
Okay then, next up, got the series. Tekken in the card box. I like him. Do like these card boxes. Original Tekken. Strangely enough, I actually played Tekken 2 out of all of them first. I saw the platinum version earlier. Here's the collector's edition of Tekken 3, which is just a demo, isn't it? And Tekken 2, there it is. Played hours and hours and hours in this. I always played as Anna, she was my favourite. I prefer blondes, but maybe not. Okay, project time, a Raiden project, which is Raiden 1 and 2. If you like Raiden, you know what to expect there. Next up, Time Crisis. So it's obviously get a gun, better to play it that way, but I haven't got one of them, but good game. Oh yeah, Total Driving, very average racing game to be honest, but back in the day when this was out, my nephew, quite young at the time, 7 or 8, You kick my arse on this all the time. So there we go. Okay, pinball, true pinball. This it's basically Pinball Illusions you get on your Amiga and the CD32 has the extra table, the Vikings table. For me, the Vikings table was actually a decent one, the best table. So Pinball Illusions on your Amiga and that on the CD32 was a bit of a letdown. Not an okay game, but you know. But true pinball, there's no save. Can't save it. As daft as that. Next up, early game, Tunnel B1. This has, if I rightly, has music from Chris Holzbeck. Rightly. It's a 3D shooter of sorts. Graphically quite good. Here's an RPG which I've never got around to playing. Had its good intentions. Vagrant Story. Highly recommended one, Squaresoft. Keep yourself alive. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good, but I don't have time for this. Probably why I play shooters all the time. Speaking of shooters, Viewpoint, an upgrade on the original Viewpoint, because it's come out like 4 years later. Not many people were that impressed with it, but I loved it. Visually really good, decent soundtrack, some great bosses. Get used to the isometric feel, of course. And here's a game coming on a demo disc, and bought it because of that. War Games, Defcon 1. Defcon 1? Yeah. So this is like in a 3D environment. You have jeeps, tanks, stuff like that. Take out enemy bases, stuff like that. Sort of futuristic in a way. I'd recommend it actually, I really do. It's quite a good game. This is another one of these games I've never got around to playing. Warhammer, Dark Omen. You need time for all these tactics and stuff like that, and not for me. Well, not at the moment anyway. This game I bought, bizarrely enough I need it for the CD32, one of the last couple of games I need for the CD32. I bought it on the PlayStation instead. Whiz, it's an isometric platformer, collect 'em up type game. Yeah. Classic Wipeout 2097. The same guy I was playing Alien Trilogy with when I played this. I'm playing the game and he's leaning around the corners with me as I'm going around the corners. There's a cracking soundtrack of course as well. Just a really good game. But you knew that anyway. WWF as it was then, SmackDown. First, I'd say really good wrestling game. Considering I didn't have a Mega Drive or anything like that, so Amstrad, Amiga, PlayStation as it was, this was the first of the really good ones. I did have SmackDown 2 as well, but I haven't got it anymore. I've carried on buying the series on the PS2, quite a few of them. Next up, a classic, oh my god, Xena, Warrior Princess. This is a 3D environment, run along, hack and slash, basically. And the last of the small box games, Zugius 3DG. This is actually the rental one, in the case. Instructions on the back. There we go. Super. So what's left then is the double case size games. Okay, still with me? Right, big box or double case time. A few of these to get through. It was a year or so back, maybe a couple of years even, I don't know. A couple of people in here are collecting all the double case ones. I wasn't one of them. Okay, first up anyway, Compilation. Capcom Generations, the likes of Ghouls and Ghosts, 1942, Commando. It's also got Gunsmoke on there, the game I actually wanted. 4 discs, there's plenty of game there. Classic early game, Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, so 3D in a lot of places, but does have 2D sections too. Just a great funny game, good fun. Only Crash game I got on the PlayStation 1 now. Just had Crash Bash as well. The roll button, actually they're all ones, aren't they? Double case games. Early ones. Destruction Derby 2. Never had the first one or the third one. Yeah, good fun racing, isn't it? Smashing about. This one's described as, it describes itself as the mother of all shoot 'em ups. It's just Disruptor. A good first person shooter. I'm sure it's the mother of them all. Maybe like Uncle. Mr. Daddy of them all. Be Doom. Used to have Final Doom as well somewhere. Oh, that's gone. Must have sold that. Yep. Doom's pretty good. Another compilation. The Help charity compilation. This features Broken Sword, Road Rash and Myst. Let's see. Never played Myst. I'd have bought this for Road Rash anyway. And Broken Sword. £2.50, you can't argue, can you? Next up then, I don't know if it is actually some sort of, they just use the same engine similar or something to Flink, but this is Lomax. Flink was a CD32 game. It did come out on a few other systems as well, I think in the end. But a super gorgeous looking, colourful 2D platformer. Lomax goes for a fair price now, usually. So it's good to have that one. Next up, there's a few of these type of games where they're pretty basic, just early rushed out games and like buzzing around some 3D graphics sort of thing, whizzing around the screen sort of stuff. This is one like Nova Storm. Never played it, to be honest. This one comes on 2 discs. Big old box. Next up is Reloaded. Sequel to Loaded. Yeah. Yeah, it's alright. Okay. Another one of them rushed out games, you asked me. Shockwave Assault. It's got FMV sequences. Back of the case is really rough, dirty sort of thing. Yeah. Starblade, I was glad to get this one. It's like an on-rails 3D shooter, space. I'll play that much to be honest. Some I might do soon. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. Not all in space, some of it you're on foot. Hidden Empire. It's, well, that's on rails. I'll say it's probably a better game in some ways than Dark Forces. Got the big box version too, Tekken 2. Did also have the autumn releases demo disc. Comes with that as well. There we go. Classic Tempest X3. Tempest on acid, so psychedelic, brilliant, real eye opener, excellent game. I think it differs to the Jaguar Tempest 2000. I think. Big box Tomb Raider. It's the only Tomb Raider I have now. I'm no Tomb Raider. Don't need to say any more about that, do I? Now, next couple of games. Always wanted to play and get into, but never had the time to get around to it. First up is Wing Commander 3. It does have a Mark Hamill in it. Obviously, you can do Skull, you can do that. How many discs is this on? 4. 4 discs. Pretty dusty there. Oh. Heart of the Tiger. Also, Wing Commander 4. Got the original Wing Commander on the Amiga and the CD32. Quite dusty, isn't it? That also has, oh, what's his face in it? Malcolm McDowell, that's it. It's got John Morris Davies in it as well. Okay. Come out in Amiga, but I only played the PlayStation version really. Worms. Oh, I love this. Great. Nice. Yeah. Took quite a few hours away. Worms. Team 17. As is this. A sequel to Project X. X2. Horizontal and vertical scrolling, and it actually changes in level as well. hard as nails, of course. Some decent bosses. Yeah. There we go. That is all of them. I'll get a few more PlayStation 1 games, there's still a few in mind. But I've sold, you know, likes of Final Fantasies, Grand Theft Autos. They're great games. You know, Spyro, things like that. So, who knows? I don't know. That's my PlayStation 1 collection. I'm going to leave it there because I think this video has probably gone for quite a while for me. So, thanks for watching. Any recommendations, then leave it in the comments, of course. But if not, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.